trying to implement technology that NASA discovered with natural reeds put into a product that can significantly dampen sound, similar to, or actually more effective than foam and other existing technologies for doing the same out there. And we've been interviewing a bunch of engineers, target customers, and other people who we think might be affected by unwanted noise pollution and so forth. And this is kind of where we've come to. It is basically a apparatus with this technology is within here, and you can line the bottom or sides or top of a window with it. They will connect together like this, and this part is actually where the technology is within. This will be facing the sound, so then your window, you would just see something like this. Normally it would kind of support itself, but yeah, this is one of our first prototypes, so we still have some more work to do. But do you guys have anything else to add?
I guess just to clarify, this is built to go around the windowsill. So we found that most of the sound that comes in through the window comes through the cracks in the windowsill, and also like energy inefficiency and stuff like that. So our goal was to create a product that wouldn't obstruct the view of the window, but would efficiently dampen sound. And so this is what we came up with. And we made it in segments of 1 foot. So theoretically it could fit in any window by combining them together. That's it.
What is in there? What is it composed of?
That is, so the original technology was natural reeds that they would find on like a marsh or a lake, but it works the same with plastic. So this is a variety of plastic straws and tubes of different sizes and sounds. And that basically the sound goes in there, and all the sound waves just kind of get lost and jumbled around, and that's how the technology works.
Have you been able to determine like how much sound it will actually dampen? Have you tested that?
That's actually what we're doing this upcoming week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of reaching out to someone with a, what was the reader called?
Decibel reader?
Decibel reader, yeah. And kind of seeing if they can design an experiment to see how effective it is.
Yeah, like he said, this is our initial prototype, and so what we're doing is looking to test the actual level of sound. So if anyone has any recommendations on how best to do that, we're definitely looking for ways to do it.
So if you don't mind, the straws represent what? Can you hold that up a little bit and kind of show people?
So up here or
Yeah.
up here?
Just put it up in the air.
Okay. The straws represent the natural reeds that they discovered, that NASA discovered was responsible for the sound dampening. And they also discovered that it's more of the shape and the variety of sizes and sizes, diameter, circumference that influences the sound dampening, and not so much the physical characteristics of the reeds themselves. Good. Thank you, guys.
Just to tell you, I'm already I'm the professor of this class, and so this is the class of new product development. It's called Innovation and Creativity. So they were given a technology from NASA, which is these reeds that they discovered that you put them in like rectangular shapes, and sound comes in, it disrupts the sound. All those reeds, and they're all different sizes and thicknesses and lengths and things like that. So they replicated that with straws, and their application is to see if they can use it to dampen sound coming into a room. Let's say they all live around the university, and so it would be So if you have ideas about this kind of thing, they would appreciate that. We'd be happy to sit and talk with anybody to just bounce ideas off of how it could be done better. Okay. And then we have a second group. I'll let them introduce themselves. Excuse me, it's your show.
Next up, we have a second group from UT who's also brought a project to share with us this evening. This apparently is a series of pinboard prototypes, if you would be so kind. Have you worked out your video output? What kind have you got? Is this HDMI?
Again, don't know. Have not ever done anything like this with a computer.
Okay, let's see what we got here. What's your output? Do you have
That actually looks like the right
Thunderbolt?
thing. I think so.
All right, let's plug this dude in and try it out.
Awesome.
Okay. And now we'll feed that into here. And let me switch this over. That always does, it adds drama. You can set that right here if you like.
Yeah. Is it just iPhone?
You may need to go into your display properties. Tell it to you, the external adapter.
Q, your open.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
If you want, I could technically start.
Yeah, you
I'm
can go ahead.
thinking we're gonna do that one at the very end. But
Yeah, it's gonna take me a second to get this set up.
should I go ahead and
Just
begin? Yeah, wait, fine. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
You go ahead. And
I might go ahead.
while you're solving.
Okay. So our group was. Yep. Okay, there we go. Our group was tasked with, like, just making something that makes the world a better place. So with that, we started with these, like, toy pinboard things. And we were thinking of, like, possible tool applications or possible medical applications. So the idea with this is that, like, I mean, these are kind of fun. You can just, like, have your hand or make a mold of anything very easily and quickly. Something interesting with this is that you can kind of, like, move stuff around. If I want to take off thumbs or, like, add fingers or something like that. But in a way, this is kind of like an analog 3D scanning device. So we're thinking, like, with a medical application, maybe in places where they don't have, like, the fancy 3D scanning technology, this could be a good alternative. So, like, maybe reconstructive surgery or casts or something like that. Yeah, so with this idea, we decided we really need, like, a locking mechanism, because otherwise your mold gets lost. So these are our iterations that we've done. We've learned a lot through the process. I don't know if they're much to look at, but with this one, this is just another one of those pin boards, but we all took away the clear plastic top part and then melted the pins so that you could easily, like, put your hand in and then go in here and just start changing things or adding back, so like a subtractive and an additive quality. For a locking mechanism, we tried to do a third, I'll go this way, a third panel or board in the middle, this pink one, and then pulling it this direction and then pulling the two boards in the other direction to try and hold it. This one did not work, but we have been looking at possibly 3D printing. I came here a couple weeks ago and some of you suggested using triangle holes, so it kind of wedges the pins in and then doing the opposite forces, which we have a 3D model of, but we have also, I don't know, do you have your, no, this one.
Oh, yeah.
We have experimented with different like materials. Like this is used for baking. It's kind of like a rubbery something, but it's grippy. So like all of these pins will stay in place. They're not gonna fall out or anything. So that's an option for keeping them in place and locking them. And then if you lock it, then you can use the mold. We've been experimenting with something to put on top of the pins, so that you could use clay or maybe like something like a liquid mold sort, and fill it in as a kind of basically making a watertight barrier between the holes that the pins are in. But yeah, I think hopefully I've explained that well. That's kind of our project. It's been a work in progress.
Faith is the artist of our group. So, but I think essentially, like, you know, we're looking for ideas for capturing. You know, medical's one route. It could be, we looked at construction. This was just one kind of, I guess, inspiration with this locking mechanism. I guess the whole purpose would be to capture, like you're doing a mold, it locks it in. So essentially, we're hoping to maybe have a similar kind of design with that, with this locking, but with more, you can like dynamically kind of change. It's not 2D, right?
Right.
Is that
Yeah.
correct?
That's basically one row of one of these pin rows. This is like that, but several more times all put together.
Yeah, so if y'all have like any ideas about, you know, I know we said the medical route, but really we're kind of looking for inspiration for ideas of, you know, things that are maybe uniquely shaped or hard to like capture. We definitely need some feedback. And then, do you want to share your prototype?
Yeah, I don't know how to get this set up, so can I just face my computer to everyone and kind of just hold it up?
Sure.
All right. So I've kind of been running what I believe will be a suitable 3D model for this, and the idea behind this iteration is instead of having small circles, having triangles to be the pretty much the placeholders of the pegs. And the idea is whenever the pegs get pushed into the triangles, they'll actually be held with some kind of friction or tension that won't allow them to slip through. And what we're going to be trying to do with the locking mechanism is just having another plastic piece attached to the bottom of all three bearings, and then maybe just pushing a screw through that hole and then having it just essentially screw through and push up against the middle plate, only the middle plate. And that's pretty much where we've gotten with this. And where we want to go next is just essentially 3D printing this or machining it in any way that we can that's feasible. Yeah. And if anybody wants to see this, I can just come up and hand it to you.
So you could do a 3D impression of somebody's face and lock it in place.
Yeah.
And then you could use that for molds to reproduce a person's image, or you could alter it, so if somebody's having nose surgery, you can see what you would look like, and you would see it three-dimensional.
Yeah.
And when we say medical, like, understand when we bring up third world countries, they don't have this type like, they don't have the technology we have at all. So, you know, our concept is make the world a better place. This is something that you could have on the field. The goal is to make the impression, say like they have broken bones. A lot of these people, like I interviewed a lot of missionaries, they'll just live with their broken bones. They'll let it heal on its own. And they already have bone issues anyways because the condition's there, so their bones break a lot more easily anyhow. If it can make the impression, and then we're able to like, maybe like lay something on it to like get a mold and like be able to produce something for these people to use, like a casting mechanism, or like figure out like, okay, which direction should we like make this bone, like it's something to just have on the field. Like it's a lot of steps back from where we are, like in the US, but I mean this is ideal for them maybe. So.
Okay.
Thank you all.
All right. Well, thank you very much for bringing those ideas to discuss with us. Y'all going to be hanging out a little bit to brainstorm later? Is that the plan? Okay. We've got one more share lined up tonight, and that's from our own Russell, who has brought some sort of an artifact to share with us. Not really sure what it is exactly.
Thank you, Isaac. When I first started hanging out here, I became known as the lamp guy because I make a lot of lamps. This is the latest one. Nothing like what you guys are doing, improving the world, coming up with these great inventions. I'd like to be able to say I invented light, but I did not do that. So, I invented, in this case, I took an antique box and some brake line. That's what this is. A tube and a light bulb, threw it all together, and there's a light. So I did have some trouble. I put a dimmer in here, and I'd planned on using this LED light. The problem is it won't dim. So I ordered some incandescent lights. They came in today, and the filament on one of them was broken. So much for that idea. But anyway, this is nothing real special, just the latest in a line of lamps. I would like to give the members an update on the tube lamp. I've got a laser tube that Isaac was so kind to purchase at auction. And I'm making, and it's a large laser tube. I had an idea for the base. It's not going to work out, so I'm going to have to use something else. It is a work in progress, but I'm going to be slowed down a little bit because next week I get a new hip. So if anybody has any ideas about how to do a home hip replacement, that'd be great. Avoid a trip to the hospital. It was funny, I spent all day yesterday at the hospital and doctor's offices and all this stuff, and they had me go to this thing called a joint class. Well, I was expecting to leave stoned, but all they did was talk about hips and knees and shoulders and all this. So anyway, just for the members, I am working on the laser tube light, so just be patient. It is forthcoming. So, thanks. Question? Yes. Yeah, I've got an Etsy shop and also a booth at, what's the name of that place? Painted Tree Boutiques. So that's, it's been just getting started really in selling. Most of the stuff I've done so far has been commission work because people will say, hey, can you make a lamp for me out of this? And I said, yeah, I'll make a lamp out of that. My latest one was a coffee grinder, and use the actual grinder to as the switch. So it's just something to occupy my time, and it's a lot of fun. So, all right, thank you all very much.
Thank you, Russell. Enlightening as always. He's such a bright guy. Sorry, fine, all right, geez. Couple of announcements I want to share with y'all before we recess. First of all, I just want to pitch to you, in case you haven't noticed, we've got our annual Toy Tech program coming up imminently in the next week or two. If you haven't participated in Toy Tech in the past, then I encourage you to give it a try. It's kind of a holiday thing for us that we really find a lot of value in. Our upstairs neighbors and partners and friends, Spark, they do work with folks who have a disability of some sort, and for the holiday season, they solicit donations of toys, the Tickle Me Elmo of the season, whatever that is that the kids like these days. And what we do is take those toys and commit surgery on them. We'll open them up, modify them to add external large friendly switches so that a child who doesn't have a lot of manual dexterity can still operate and enjoy the toy. And then those toys are given away to the children at a holiday party by Santa Claus. It's all very heartwarming. It's a lovely holiday tradition, and it's a chance for us to hang out and goof off and play with toys and solder and sew, and it's a good time. So we'll be announcing this as we schedule sessions. If you're interested, we've started a Toy Tech 2021 channel on Mattermost. You can join there to work out the logistics, and of course we'll be announcing things here as well. Secondarily, of course, you will have noticed that Bay 1 looks totally different now. It is almost completely empty finally, and we officially have possession of it, so we're just about ready to start moving stuff in. Next steps for us are going to include cleaning and painting and probably bringing in some lights of some sort. Those will all be pluses before we actually start occupying the space. Again, though, it's a chance for us to get together and do stuff. The painting and the cleaning. It's not exactly a good time, but once we get together, it's pretty okay. So we'll be organizing that on the chat server as well. If you have the time to spare, it'll probably be a good time, and it'll be a great help to the organization. So I hope I'll see some of y'all participate in that. Anybody bring a share that did not sign up? Did everybody get it out of their system? Okay, we're probably good for this week. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We're going to break up now and go out in the workshop, tinker with stuff, hang out, maybe talk to some UT students about their projects. Thanks, everybody, for coming.